What's going on, JEROME homies? Minnesota fighting Vikings practice numero 6 is in the books, and there was some interesting developments going on at TCO on this beautiful Tuesday. No pads. First pad of practice is on Monday. They'll be back at it tomorrow on Wednesday before a day off on Thursday. They were in shells today, but some things and some stuff happened. All right, so Will Reichard, Sports Illustrated. Second play of today's practice, J.J. McCarthy hits Tristan Jackson for a 50-yard bomb against the first-team defense. Now, that should definitely raise a couple eyebrows. It sort of looked like a busted coverage. Jackson got behind Beasy in this situation, but the footwork was beautiful on it, and it was play action. The footwork was great, and it was textbook on time, on platform throw. And it was fun. It was really good. Like, people will say it's underthrown. You will never see a receiver hit in stride 50 yards down the field. It just doesn't happen, right? But it was a great throw by McCarthy, and he continues to look good. And I understand that, hey, it's practice. Talk about practice, right? But McCarthy is doing well with everything that O'Connell and Flores put on his plate. Right, and he's getting better every single day, more confident. He's very competent. He's getting the ball out on time. He's making mistakes, but it feels like he's not making boneheaded mistakes, and it feels like he's not making the same mistake over and over and over again. And you look at some of the other training camp practice reports, like Drake May. Caleb Williams having some highlight throws, but he's also having some low lows, and a bunch of the other rookies around the league the same. Hell, Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions and 5 throws today at Niners camp. So, I mean, McCarthy, again, small sample size. I understand. Tempered expectations, lowered expectations, but it's okay to feel good about your rookie quarterback, highest quarterback draft in team history, and the future of the franchise. It's okay to feel good that he's looking good at what the team is giving him, right? Meow. Right? You don't have to poo-poo on him. You don't have to move the goalposts, because right now, J.J. McCarthy's looking good, and he's only going to get better, right? And either way, the future is pretty damn good. And also what stood out is our guy Sean Borman on site there having a couple beverages, watching some camp. In 7-on-7s, no pass rush, Darnold went 2 of 6 with 0 touchdowns. 0 goose egg, D'Angelo Russell. McCarthy went 4 of 6 with 4 touchdowns. So that sort of stands out. Now, yes, you could say that Darnold was generally going against the first-team defense in red zone. McCarthy mix in first and second team, but also he's playing with the twos, right? And I just can't wait. I can't wait to see, because Kevin O'Connell has said that McCarthy will get some run with the ones. Like, the first JJ to JJ touchdown, like, the world is going to implode. Like, I don't think that people are ready for it. I think it's going to be everyone's going to go from 6 to midnight, and it's going to be just glorious. It's going to be good, man. But I feel like at a certain point, so this from Purple Suasion. Per Matthew Collar, Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold is once again today not finding much success in the red zone, as noted by him not getting any touchdowns. Caller noted that the timing hasn't quite been there the last few practices. And, you know, Darnold's had some great plays. He had a couple of great deep balls again today, one to Jefferson, one to Jalen Speedy Naylor. And it seems like every single day there is a deep shot from Darnold to a receiver. But inconsistency has been the name of the game here. Now, yes, he's generally going up against the ones, against Flores, and they're going to be tough as hell. But everything he's got around him, the receivers, Darrisaw, the running game, Kevin O'Connell and McCown as his coaches. Like, at a certain point, if Darnold continues to struggle and be inconsistent despite the high highs, you got to question what's up. And as we said before this whole thing started, if Darnold can't succeed here, he's not going to succeed anywhere. This is the best possible spot for a quarterback, maybe in the National Football League. And not going to lie, that's not even hyperbole. With Jefferson, Addison, eventually Hawkinson, Darrisaw, blah, blah, blah. But if he's not looking good now, like, what happens? Yeah, he'll play extensively in preseason. What if he's shaky then? Well, McCarthy continues to look good with whatever Kevin O'Connell is giving him. I don't think this is over. It's going to be far from over. Also, our guy Sean Borman, relayed the lineups currently for the first, second, and third team offensive line. First team, according to Hoyle, Darisaw, Brandel, Bradbury, Ingram, and O'Neal. I think that they're going to go into at least the first preseason game with that. They just want to see what happens, especially with joint practices. Brandel at left guard, at Ingram at right guard. Now, second team is interesting. So a lot of musical chairs here. So Walter Rouse had generally been the second team left tackle. They're trying him out at right tackle now. Quisenberry, the veteran swing tackle, getting some run at left tackle. Dalton Reisner, come on up for the Reisner, who had been working at right guard, basically just getting ready so that he can swap potentially for Brandel or Ed Ingram, despite playing left guard exclusively throughout his NFL career. He now moves back to left guard. Diamond Dan Feeney, who's been the swing interior backup lineman, basically the new Brett Jones, new Austin Schlutman, he got some run at right guard. He had been the second team center. And Michael Juergens, it puts the lotion on skin or else it gets the hose again. The pride of Wake Forest, 7th round pick, who had been the third team center, all of a sudden, second team center. Things going on. And again, putting it on the table, Juergens will replace Bradbury eventually. Maybe even as soon as next offseason. I feel like the Vikings may have got one in the 7th round, man. Third team was interesting. So Juergens continued as the third team center. Henry Bird, who had been the second team left guard, he's now the third team left tackle. Spencer Rowland, the local kid from Burnsville, North Carolina, Harvard, in at left guard. Doug Nestor, right guard. JEROME Flerks, who was the third team left tackle, moved to third team right tackle. Odd man out was Tyrese Robinson in this iteration. But of course, I mean, there's a lot of shifting. There's a lot of moving parts as the team is trying to get looks at all these guys at various positions. So, I mean, especially outside of the first team, there's going to be a lot of shifting around, but it's noteworthy because that's what's going on today. Also, Michael Juergens. Let's go, man. Let's go. Also, some disappointing news. Will Reichard, Sports Illustrated. Will Reichard missed his first 2 kicks of practice today, going wide right from long range. Both kicks were about mid-40s. I think one was 45, one's 48. Both of them going wide right. But he drilled the 55-yarder with room to spare and totally redeemed himself. And so this is how you repay us. Like you win the kicking competitions. We send John Parker Roma off into the ether, and then you just shank your first 2 kicks. Like we don't have history with kicking, man. You were the chosen one. You got to earn that turtleneck and cream suit. Colonel Sanders, come on, man. Come on. So odds and ends. So like we said, shells today, full pads again tomorrow. Addison's still returning punts, which I don't really understand because generally you don't put one of your starters out there on special teams returning kicks or punts unless it's like a very defined, like last-second situation. Also, obviously, Brandon Powell's back there too, but it's odd. It really is odd because why not have a guy like Thayer Thomas, who was a great punt returner at NC State back there as opposed to Addison? So, I don't know. Darisaw is worth the money. They're just throwing dudes out the club. Like, I understand it wasn't full pads today, but worth his weight in gold. Also, love how he has basically taken Dallas Turner under his wing, and like their reps are going to make each other better, and they're sharing information and study habits and stuff. It's great. Dallas Turner, like not even in pads, like you can tell, like he's just special, man. Jalen Naylor continues to make plays. It does seem like the wide receiver 3 job is his to lose. I think that stylistically, he's a much more traditional receiver than, say, Brandon Powell. But I think, Jalen Naylor has looked good. And again, staying healthy. He's put in a lot of work during the offseason, changing things up, trying to get him to be more durable and stay on the field. Jaquelin Roy has been working with the ones, being disruptive, whether in pads or non-pads, basically the entire training camp, all 6 practices. And with Roy, like the Vikings, they just need that disruption on the defensive line. They don't really have it with the starters, with Harrison Phillips and Bullard and Jerry Tillery. But Roy in there, sub-package, blow up a B-gap, let's go. They signed Fabian Moreau. No corresponding move has been announced as of right now. So TBD if it's going to be like a release or someone going on IR. Lewisine, so Lewisine has a leg injury. Been held out of the last 3 practices, was doing some work on the side today. Shaq Griffin, so his soft tissue left leg injury is a hamstring, so I'm glad that he avoided major injury there. But yeah, ice up, get that back to 100%, and we'll go from there. And then also, with Griffin being a veteran, and of course, the Vikings being very cautious with injuries, like that might be it for him in preseason training camp. Now, it'd be nice for him to have reps since it is a new scheme, new team, new teammates, etc. But Like we said, he's a vet, and his role is going to be specifically defined as him as left quarter, playing some press man. So hopefully the veteran-ness will just take over. And like we said, Kevin McCall announced as presser before practice that McCarthy will get some first-team reps. I don't know if we're ready for it as a fan base. Like, what if again, everyone talks about, and we've talked about this too, it's okay to be cautious with McCarthy because you don't want to ruin him, like if you throw him into the fire and he's not ready. But no one ever talks about is, what if McCarthy is good? Yeah, he's young. Yeah, he'll make mistakes. But what if the moment's not too big? What if he's got the competence and confidence to go out there and just slang it? Take what's there, sometimes take what's not there. Trusting his arm, trusting his receivers, operating the offense, and learning on the job. Like, no one ever talks about that. What if J.J. McCarthy is actually good? I guess we'll find out, man. But that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts. Practice number 6 in the books. Let us know. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.